Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Newsbrowse News broadcast. Iranian media reported today that the United States' latest response to Tehran's proposed ceasefire negotiation agenda failed to offer any substantial concessions. According to Fars news agency, Washington presented a five-point list which included demands for Iran to retain only one nuclear facility for operations and to transfer its stockpile of highly enriched uranium to the U.S. The report also indicated that the U.S. refused to release Iran's frozen overseas assets, even a partial 25%, and declined to pay any reparations for damages incurred by Iran since the outbreak of war on February 28, stipulating that a cessation of hostilities on all fronts was a prerequisite for negotiations. Mehr news agency added that the U.S. sought concessions it couldn't achieve during conflict, which could lead to a deadlock. Iran's proposal called for a ceasefire on all fronts, including Israeli military actions in Lebanon and the lifting of the U.S. naval blockade on Iranian ports in effect since April 13th. It also demanded a full lifting of U.S. sanctions and the release of Iran's long-frozen overseas assets. Fars noted that Iran's proposal emphasized its continued management of the strategic Strait of Hormuz, which it has blockaded since the war began. Iran's armed forces spokesperson, Abolfazl Shekarki, warned U.S. President Donald Trump against resuming offensive actions, as reported by ZOC-BOT. 联合早报 reports that public opinion in Japan is largely against the Hsien Takaichi government's recent decision to lift the ban on the export of lethal weapons. According to a poll released by Japan's Kyodo News on Sunday, 57.2% of respondents opposed the move, while only 37.1% expressed support. Another survey conducted by NHK from May 8 to 10 also indicated significant opposition, with 52% of respondents against the government's principle of allowing lethal weapon exports and 35% in favor. The Japanese government, led by Hsien Takaichi, approved a cabinet resolution on April 24th to revise the three principles on transfer of defense equipment and its operational guidelines. This revision removed previous restrictions that limited weapon exports to 5 categories of non-combat use, effectively allowing the export of finished lethal weapons. This policy shift has continuously drawn protests from the Japanese public. Al Jazeera reports that Taiwan's President William Lai Ching-te has declared the self-governing island will not succumb to pressure to abandon its democracy and sovereignty. His statement came days after Taiwan was a key topic during discussions between China and the United States. Lai affirmed on social media that while Taiwan would not provoke or escalate conflict, it would equally not relinquish its national sovereignty and dignity or its democratic and free way of life under pressure. He further asserted that Taiwan consistently maintains the status quo across the Taiwan Strait, rather than seeking to change it, and identified China as the root cause of regional instability. These remarks followed U.S. President Donald Trump's interview where he expressed not looking to have somebody go independent regarding Taiwan and indicated he was still deciding on an 11-bean arms package. Chinese leader Xi Jinping reportedly warned Trump that the Taiwan question was the most important issue in China-U.S. relations, cautioning against potential conflict if mishandled. Lai reiterated that Taiwan-U.S. security cooperation and arms sales are crucial for regional stability and act as a vital deterrent. According to the Liberty Times, citing Singapore's Prime Minister's office and Lain Hizauba, Singapore's senior minister and former Prime Minister Lee Hsien Loong is scheduled to visit China's Guangxi and Shanghai for 5 days starting May 18th. This marks his first visit to China in his capacity as senior minister in 1.5 years. The primary objective of the trip is to further strengthen bilateral connections at the subnational level. During his time in Guangxi, Li will meet with Chen Gang, the party secretary of the Guangxi-Zhuang Autonomous Region, and attend a dinner hosted by him. He will also conduct on-site inspections to understand Guangxi's strategic role as a gateway connecting China and Southeast Asia, and its contribution to promoting China-ASEAN connectivity. In Shanghai, Minister Li is slated to meet with Mayor Gong Zhong and attend his dinner, in addition to visiting various enterprises to observe China's technological advancements. The report highlights that this visit follows a period of robust high-level exchanges between Singapore and China. Singaporean Prime Minister Lawrence Wong also made his inaugural visit to China as Prime Minister in June 2025 and returned in March this year. Economic ties between Singapore and both Guangxi and Shanghai have shown significant growth, with bilateral trade between Singapore and Guangxi reaching RMB 13.8 billion in 2025 and cumulative Singaporean $2 billion. That's all for this video. Thank you for watching. See you in the next video.